Hi there, my name is Matt Cole, one of the producers of the Sexperts podcast, along with Brian Garrity. Before we begin the show, I just have a few announcements. First off, huge thanks to our guest during this episode, Alba Woolard of The Pushers. You can see Alba performing at the Push Comedy Theater with her group Double Treble, which is an amazing musical improv show consisting of her and Andy Poindexter and Kate Baldwin. Check that out at Push Comedy Theater. And if you would like to learn comedy, please go to pushcomedytheater.com and sign up for a class in stand-up improv or sketch comedy. Speaking of theater, if you are in Lithuania this week, you can check me out. I will be traveling to Vilnius, Lithuania for the 18th Annual International University Theater Forum in Vilnius with Core Theater Ensemble. Core Theater Ensemble has been around for about 10 years. They're a local theater troupe, and we're going to be performing Antigone. If you like what we do, please give us a review on iTunes. Find us on Facebook, the Sexperts Podcast. You can check us out on Twitter, The Real Sexperts, Instagram, The Real Sexperts, and email us your topics and questions at therealsexperts@gmail.com. Without further ado, everything you are about to hear is made up on the spot. Please enjoy the Sexperts. And intro music, and hi there, welcome to the Sexperts. My name is Dr. John T. Alanese, CPM.
And my name is Delilah Haydair, pizza maker at Chuck E. Cheese.
Pizza maker at Chuck E. Cheese. And we're coming to you live from the Botanical Gardens. And we are here every week with a podcast to let you in on the latest and greatest in controversial modern sex topics. And we have a huge guest today. I'm really excited for her.
This is a big one.
This is going to be a big one. But our topic of the day is sex with spirits, subtitle, can sex transcend life itself?
I sure hope so.
I sure hope so as well. But we'll get to that in just a little bit. Tell me how Chuck E. Cheese is going.
It's been rough.
Yeah?
Yeah. You know, I've been working in pizza for years.
Yeah.
And pretty much subsisting off of the staff pizza. So you work a shift.
Yeah.
And they make one pizza a night for the staff.
You get a shift meal.
Yeah. And I that's really how I learned to like vegetables. Mm-hmm. But honestly, the pizza at my new job is awful.
The Chuck E. Cheese pizza?
Yeah, I can't stand it. So really, there's really nothing to work for.
Me and the kids only go there for the ball pits. So
yeah. Well, I thought I saw you there the other day, but
I would have said hi. I didn't know you're working there now.
Yeah, we were trained that if somebody's having as much fun as you evidently were, not to bring up personal business.
Just let them go. We were having a ball. Yeah. Speaking of having a ball, we're here at the Botanical Gardens, which is lovely outside.
It's beautiful.
The bees are buzzing. The flowers are blooming.
Yeah, they say there's a bee shortage. They're not looking here.
No, definitely not. Before we get too chatty, I want to bring in our guest, and she's walking up now. And hi there. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hello there. My name is Beaulah Bradner. I am just delighted to be on the show this lovely afternoon in the springtime. Mm-hmm. And I am a freelance librarian for the 757 in our public library system, and I am specializing in the romance novel area of the public libraries, and therefore qualified in that area.
Oh, absolutely. And speaking of dwindling numbers, we hear that the bees are dwindling. Also, every time I walk into the public libraries, the romance section is also dwindling, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a fact of the libraries. It is because, as you may well know, pornography is at an all-time high on the internet, and therefore the library's section is less sought after.
I thought you were going to say the pornography is at an all-time high in the libraries, but that's guys don't allow the pornography there.
No, we have a special system that blocks it. But I tell you what, where every now and again we get someone with a special firewall knowledge, and they break on through that firewall. Now, I do not specialize in firewalls, and therefore do not know how it is accomplished. But I've caught wind of it a couple of times.
What do you do? Is there a punishment?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, the person is pulled from the chair.
Like with their pants down, perhaps?
Yeah.
Pants as you found them, probably.
as a matter of fact, as I was using my Dewey Decimal System in the Virginia Beach Public Library just last week, I had all my books in my hand, and I heard someone yell out, "Help!" Because there was a 55-year-old fat man who was caught with his underpants down and his ding dong out.
Oh God!
In the public library.
So what happened? What'd you do?
What I did was I cried. I was uncomfortable.
Oh
yeah,
Beaulah.
Yeah, I cried because
Beaulah.
He looked right at me and said, he said, "I love that woman with those books," and I said, "It can't be me." And so he,
why can't it be you, Beaulah? Do you not let love in?
Oh, well, it's just me and Whiskers at home.
Is Whiskers your partner, or is that an animal?
Whiskers is
your grandfather.
Can it be both? Whiskers is.
I guess it can be both.
Is my kitten? He's not a kitten anymore, I suppose.
Oh,
it's just the two of us now.
Kitten has turned into a man.
He's my man. We have lovely dinners by candlelight together.
Well, speaking of candlelight together, speaking of candlelight and seances, our topic of the day, before I forget, is sex with the spirits. Was that movie ghost true? So we're going to be talking about that in just a little bit.
Well, one of the things that she said that lifted my spirits is that she's a freelance librarian for the entire area code
of 757. Yeah, for our global listeners.
I love that that all the cities in the 757 have banded together to share one pool of freelance librarians. That seems like a very optimal way to manage freelance librarians.
We think of ourselves as a community, a community whose purpose in this world is spreading knowledge through the power of reading.
That makes sense.
Oh God, is there a lot of you? Is there you and someone else, or are you just?
Well, it's, as you notice, the dwindling romance section. It's just me for the romance section.
Oh, so there's a freelancer for every section.
Yes. However, crime has multiple people. The crime section is at a high. True crime. Yeah. People like to read about those weirdos. So
that is very unfortunate because the world needs a little more love, doesn't it?
I couldn't agree with you anymore on that.
Sounds like she could use a little more.
Speaking of using a little more, we'd like to get to one of our sponsors for the day, and that is Aunt Mary's Hand Cream. Aunt Mary's Hand Cream.
Son, your hands are dirty. Use a little more.
Oh, shucks. I could use some Aunt Mary's Hand Cream.
Yeah, anyways, thanks.
We tried to, they gave us a script from Aunt Mary's to read. That did not go well.
Let me try it.
Okay.
Oh shucks, you got dirty hands. Don't get it on your Aunt Mary's walls. No.
You went off script. Went off script. Sorry. All right. So sorry for Aunt Mary's, but you have lovely hand cream. Let's get to our topic of the day, by the way, which is sex with the spirits. You drink too much.
Not to interrupt or anything, but the man who said I was the one that he loved, he had a bottle of whiskey with him.
Which decade are you talking about here?
I'm talking about just last week. The man who was dragged out of the library for watching pornography on our library computer.
Yes, go back to this tale. This is an epic saga.
He did have a bottle of whiskey with him.
Oh yeah,
and he smelled of it as well, and he's been banned.
Banned.
Oh.
Would you like to announce that? Are we breaking news right now? Would you like to announce his banning?
Well, okay, I can do that. This man is no longer allowed in any of the public libraries in the 757 for publicly exposing his ding dong. And I believe he'll have a trial or so coming up shortly on his public indecency.
That is a brutal reminder that libraries are a privilege.
Yeah. But a trial in the library, or are you talking about in the actual court system?
Well, hopefully in the court system, because there were children present.
Oh, my God.
It was on a Sunday afternoon.
I didn't even know you guys were open on Sundays.
Oh,
Is this, maybe he had a key or something.
It was it was a family day. We're open special for Family Day on just the one Sunday. Last Sunday it was the special occasion.
That's sad. I was sitting at home with my kids, nothing to do.
Yeah,
could have been there.
So wait, were those children his? Did he bring his kids?
I don't believe so. No, it was we don't do very good advertising for the Family Day, but some in a neighborhood they do come on around.
So tell us about maybe the last book that you read, or maybe something good that you have in the romance section. I actually don't read a whole lot. I got to be very honest. I'm not a dum-dum. I like to read, instructional manuals. I am a certified professional midwife. I read a lot of research on the topic of midwifery. What are you reading these days?
Well, I tell you, my favorite recent novel was it was entitled "Tentacles from Outer Space: How Love Penetrates Your Insides."
That sounds like it could be a topic on the Sexperts.
It was.
I'm gonna save that one.
It was an enthralling, edge of your seat tale, and I loved it dearly.
See, now to me, that title sounds like it could go in either sci-fi or romance. Do you guys kind of battle it out sometimes between?
Oh, now yes, we do. As a matter of fact, now that title, I insisted it belonged in romance because of the steamy chapters. There are some steamy passages about the penetration of love.
Delilah, can you do me a favor? Can you just get on Amazon and see if we can pull up maybe a passage that you can read from? Would that be great? Sure. Yeah.
And I'd also like to offer my services as a tie-break vote between sci-fi and romance.
Well, you don't even work for the public libraries.
No, but I'll do it as a volunteer. I'll read it. I'll read it like 3 chapters, and if I get an erection, it goes in romance.
Oh, you'll get an erection.
If I don't get an erection, it goes in sci-fi.
You sound like that guy.
An erection.
This wasn't the guy who was pulling down his pants at the library, was it?
That was not me. I was working at Chuck E. Cheese that day.
I don't believe so, but you could be his brother if in another world or something.
Uh-oh. Another planet. You're really into sci-fi. Did you have that pulled up yet, Delilah?
Yeah,
okay, thanks. Okay, so we have a little bit of a chapter from Amazon. Why don't you go ahead and read us a chapter from the Tentacles book?
All right, here we go. She deeply inhaled as she noticed his large masculine tentacles throbbing and pulsating.
See, I can already say this is going in romance.
He groaned and spoke in his foreign alien language to her. That was my own interpretation of the writing. She began to undress herself for his manly tentacles. As she quivered, he said again, and enveloped her body with 4 of his 7 tentacles.
Oh my God, that is it really takes a lot to get me going, but I gotta say,
it's going in romance.
It's going in romance. And actually, thank you so much for reading that. That was really lovely. You have a great speaking voice. Actually, you have a gig coming up. You're going to be reading to children from the romance section. What is it? Every
that'll be every 3rd Thursday of the month.
Oh yeah, romancing the kids.
All right, so for our listeners out there, if you're in the 757 area, check out Beaulah Bradner's Romancing the Kids.
Don't just go to any, don't just go to your local library. She could be in Franklin, Isle of Wight.
It's all of them in the 757 again.
Yorktown.
Well, we have not gotten to our topic of the day, which is really exciting because I have a Ouija board out here and everything. We're going to be talking about sex with the spirits. So actually, my grandma recently just passed, and she was talking to me about, I hope that, she hopes that she can have sex with her dead husband in heaven. But, yeah.
Your grandmother was kind of like that, though.
She was.
Sort of a heavy petter.
That's how Mr. Whiskers likes to be pet, is in the heavy way. He doesn't like it soft. He prefers a nice heavy-handed pet.
His grandmother was very similar to Mr. Whiskers. I went to visit her in the twilight of her days, and I grabbed her hand and held on to her, thinking she would like some connection.
Yeah.
She took my hand and shoved it down her robe, and I was appalled and shocked.
But was it enjoyable? Because this could be another passage in a romance novel or something.
That's right. Yeah, you should do a little bit of writing. You have a lot of good experiences. I've never had that experience with my grandma. So
she never did that to you?
No.
I will say the word shove tends to be used not often enough in romance novels. I would say it could be added a little more.
What word do you most see in romance novels?
Quiver.
Pulsating is a common one.
Throb.
Dripping.
Oh my.
Hot.
Dripping does sound like that tentacle guy. I gotta read that one. That one sounded really good.
It's a quite good one. I've read it now 4 or 5 times.
Oh God,
Mr. Whiskers enjoys it as well.
You read to your animals.
Singular, yes. Mr. Whiskers he's just him.
You're a one cat woman.
Such a librarian.
Go through, like Delilah is saying, there are probably a few misconceptions, a few stereotypes that we all know about librarians. Go through a few that you can claim are not true. How about that? Anything you can think of?
I know people think that we all live alone, and I'll tell you that is not the case.
So you live with somebody?
I live with Mr. Whiskers.
Okay. I think that's probably a true one then.
Do you all like dry sandwiches, or do you use like mayonnaise or?
Well, I'm a mayonnaise connoisseur.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I use Hellman's full fat.
Oh.
Wow.
Mayonnaise, the real kind. That's the only mayonnaise I'll put on any of my sandwiches.
And speaking of Hellman's, that's one of our sponsors for the day, is Hellman's Mayonnaise. Wet up your sandwich.
Don't be a dull librarian.
And I'm not dull at all.
Beaulah, I've got to say, you're one of the most fascinating people I have ever met. I tend to go for the older ladies, though, but I'm married at home. I have Mildred. She's not doing very well right now. We're hoping that she gets out of the iron lung, but
Did you say the iron lung?
Yeah, the iron lung. She's
word.
She's not doing very well.
She smoked filterless Pall Malls since she was 7.
Yeah, she's had a rough life. She lived in Russia for a long time.
It looks like she has a catcher's mitt on her face.
Oh no!
What? You talking about her nose?
No, the wrinkled up, the smoker wrinkles.
Yeah. Oh God!
But it says a lot about Dr. John that he can love her through that heinous face.
Speaking of loving through a heinous face, our topic of the day is sex with spirits. Can I rim job a ghoul? Is the subtitle.
Speaking of rim jobs, the tentacles. My very favorite novel has a passage where the main alien named Rhubarb, he rim jobs the main female character. But
do you want to read this one too?
I don't know if it's a little too inappropriate for your show here.
Pull that back up. Pull that back up, Delilah. Okay.
I'm Googling rim jobs and tentacles.
Well, meanwhile, let's talk more about what is it like to work in a library? Is it really as quiet as we see on the TV and movies and stuff?
Aside from the occasional pornography screamer, it is indeed quiet in the library.
In your education, did you take a class specifically on shushing people?
It's generally a trade secret, but you two have been just so kind to me today. I'll let you in. Yes. It's not a full-on class, but a 3-hour training course we're required to pass.
And are you encouraged to develop your own sense of shushing, or is there like a model that you're supposed to adhere to?
Oh, my God.
Well, We have a scale of when to and when not to shush. However, the particular flair we like to add with it, that can be our very own.
Oh, please.
Your shush is famous throughout the 757.
Yes, will you do us the honor? Can we kind of play a little, pretend like we're outside in Botanical Gardens, but I'll talk a little bit, and then could you shush me?
I'll pretend I'm looking at porn.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Hey, Dave.
Hey, I broke through the firewall.
Hey, yeah. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, all kinds of porn here in the firewall
my God.
hole.
Oh my God, that
was amazing.
That I want to put that in the romance section if I could write a novel about your shushing technique. Oh dear Lord!
Well, I get a little tingle in my britches every time I do it.
Well, we have this passage pulled up on the rim job of rhubarb or rhubarb. I can't tell with your accent. Rhubarb.
No ah in the word, just rhubarb.
Go ahead and read us a little bit more from that. I love your speaking voice. I love hearing you.
Okay. Miranda leaned forward and exclaimed, "Oh, rhubarb, I don't know what that object is." Which translated to, "It's my right earpiece." He removed his right earpiece with a tentacle from what seemed to be his head and rubbed the earpiece along the outside of her rear end. She exclaimed. "I've never felt such a thing in my life before. You're so manly."
That is brilliant. I
think we found our new Aunt Mary's spokesmodel.
I know. Thank you so much. Let's get to our... No, God, we don't have any time to talk with... we've been chatting up. We don't have any time to talk about our main topic of the day, sex with the spirits. We'll get to it some other time.
Well, maybe after off mic, we can play a little Ouija and see if we can get laid.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Beaulah Bradner, for coming here.
I'd like to extend a wholehearted thank you to you two for having me on today. Thank you very much.
And give our best to Mr. Whiskers.
Yeah, absolutely.
I certainly will.
So, as always, we are your Sexperts. My name is Dr. John T. Alanese, CPM.
And my name is Delilah Haydare, and sir, we have an age limit in the ball pit.
See you sex time.